I already did it, so whatever.
Well, edit out the beginning.
We'll edit out the beginning.
It's like the beginning of Alf when he hits the recording. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to a video episode of Red, White, and Mystery Stories.
Yes. Yeah, we're appearing on camera for the first and maybe only time.
Yeah, we're recording live from by the Paranormal Pool of Peril right now, actually.
Ooh, I like the alliteration, sir.
Yeah, it's burning. We're burning up in the sun right now. Our souls.
Or lack thereof.
Yeah, or lack thereof.
Sizzling off our bodies.
Sizzling off our bodies. We're like vampires right now, literally and figuratively.
It's like super bright out, so I will be wearing these like sweet ass, cheap ass shades.
Yeah.
Video.
We should have gone maybe on the opposite side where the sun wasn't in our face.
Yeah, but then we'd be in shadow.
That is it. That's how we live, in the shadows.
It's true, we do live in the shadows, but it wouldn't make for very good video recording.
Nah, it wouldn't, but it's okay. It works. So anyway, if this is your first time at the rodeo, this is the podcast in which we talk about two of our favorite things, actually. Mystery and booze.
Booze. We don't always talk about the booze necessarily, but we always have it on hand.
Yes. And it's early in the morning, so we're drinking our like fancy morning bevs right now.
Yeah, you've got some high class mimosas going on.
Yeah, we're getting our Vit C and our Vit D, so shout out to everything. And I'm Patrick, I'm done, and who are you?
I'm Jill Buck, if you can't remember.
Yeah, so this could be, maybe you prefer visual over audio.
Ooh.
Yeah, so.
We're going to get into some fancy videography now.
Yeah, maybe we'll get into some visuals for y'all.
Visuals, yeah.
Yes.
Visual stimuli.
But I wanted to bring up something first before we do. What those? Are we going to be murdered?
I can't tell.
Live on air with
I think it might have been like the somebody collecting like dumpsters.
Oh yeah, probably. They have a dumpster?
I have no idea.
Well, it's us. It's us. We're the dumpster.
It's true.
We're just
Dumpsters.
garbage people.
Yep.
Anyway, I wanted to bring up something that we watched last night. We've talked about it before on the podcast. We've discovered the series finally on Amazon
Prime.
Yeah,
is where they have it now. Woot woot. So excited about that.
Beyond belief, fact or fiction. It was a very short-run Fox drama, I guess.
It's like a
anthology series.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it's like it's supposed to be, I think, like more on the like, fantasy, but like almost thriller-esque. It's supposed to be creepy for you.
Suspenseful thriller.
Yeah.
So it's kind of Twilight Zone-y, but it's based. Well, most of it is based on facts. So the stories
I wouldn't say most of it. It depends on the show.
Yeah.
So basically, it's broken up. There's 5 different stories, and there's a host, which in the first season is James Brolin.
Yeah, dad of Josh Brolin.
I have no idea, but
we're gonna go with
that up.
Call us if you're still alive.
Yeah.
He looked like he was old then. This was like 20 years ago.
Older. Yeah. And then after that, the host became Jonathan Frakes, which freaking awesome. He delivers the cheesy puns so well, and we love him for it.
Yeah, so each segment is like preceded by
he gives a little synopsis of what it could be about. And then there's always like a narrator for the story to move it along a little bit faster because they don't have a lot of time.
Yeah, they got like literally 6 minutes to tell the story.
Exactly. So it's like little short. See, it was. Oh, it's a dump truck.
Yeah.
Maybe they're like filling in with sand.
They're gonna bury us alive.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, we don't need this in the world.
Yeah, get these people out of here. Exit stage left.
Okay, Snagglepuss. So they tell this little short story, and then they have a commercial break, and they come back and they do another one. And at the end, they tell you which ones were supposed to be based on fact and which ones were supposed to be just purely fiction made up by the writers.
And it's kind of like a game.
Yeah.
It's a fun game you can play at home with your family and friends, or yourself if you have no family or friends.
Yes, go home and play with yourself.
And you're just like a weird cat lady.
Hey.
You just sit at home on Friday nights. This is a Friday night joint. I think
it was. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was Friday night.
It was beyond before the X-Files. This is back when the X-Files was still a Friday night thing.
Yes. And it was highly enjoyable. So one of the episode we watched last night specifically related to a podcast episode that we recorded. So this was season 1, episode 4.
Yes.
Right?
So I wanted to specifically bring up my favorite segment of the episode. It turned out to be true. It was amazing. and I loved everything about it. So picture the scene. It's the early '90s. We're in like a law office, maybe.
Yeah, it is a law office. Yep.
And we have the best, worst actors they could have found. I don't know where they found these people.
You know, it's funny too because when you watch the show, you will notice like larger name actors, and you're just like, holy shit, I didn't even realize they were in this.
This did not happen in this segment, by the way.
Not really, no.
So, the cast is only 3 people, 4 people, I think. Yeah, there's 4 people in it altogether because we have a special guest at the end.
That's right. Yep.
All right. So the story is, this guy is a lawyer. I guess one of his clients passed away.
Yep.
A man by his name is Edward, I think. Edward Burroughs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Something like that. And so his niece is there.
She's gonna inherit.
She's like the sole recipient of his vast empire or whatever, which I think equates to like $500,000.
Really?
Yeah.
I was thinking like Mr. Burns, like rich.
No, I think that's what the amount was $500,000 that she was going to get in the check. And
Is that a lot in like 1994 money?
I think it was. I really think it was. It like equated to much more than it means now.
Well, I mean, I'd be stoked if I got that. But
seriously.
The pearls that lady was wearing that came in, I felt like that she would have.
Well, they could have been costume jewelry.
Oh yeah, she's
Those
spanking.
could have been fake pearls, plastic pearls.
I picture this. Yeah, I picture this being in Hollywood and she swings by like a costume shop on the way.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah. I need to pay a rich Julius. I picture that's the guy's name. He's the host that runs the costume shop.
Yep.
And he's like, do you want to look 1980s rich with like the shoulder pads, or do you want like modern elegance? She's like, you know what? It's 1994. I think we're gonna go with modern elegance.
So he gives her the big pearls.
Yeah, and like, you know, maybe even like a cute little like lady tie.
She doesn't have a lady tie on though.
Oh,
maybe she's like holding it in wings for another.
I feel like she had like some other weird accessory on her though.
I don't think so. I think you're imagining that.
I don't know. I see a lady tie.
There was no lady tie.
All right. Well, you know what? In my version of the story, there is a lady tie.
Okay, I'm sure they'll reshoot that episode just for you.
It's like polka dot yellow.
Yeah, that's definitely not.
It pops out of her like puff, like her. She has like what color is her lady suit? It's like a sky blue.
She was wearing like a dress.
Yeah, but it was like a business dress.
Yeah,
it wasn't something like you wear to like.
It wasn't like a house dress. It was like a professional businessy attire.
Yeah, it's not something you wear to like a debutante's ball, but something you wear to like a business meeting or like a country club, like lunch with your gal pals.
Yes.
Thing.
Yeah, to drink out of champagne glasses.
So she's doing the final negotiations with the lawyer, and the lawyer's like, all right, if you come tomorrow, you can get the check, you can get this like raw.
Well, no, he's like ready to hand over the check and everything. He's like, just sign here and here. And then his like assistant comes in and she's like, hey, can I talk to you for a minute? And he's like, I'm meeting with a client. What the fuck, bitch?
Yeah.
And she's like, this is an emergency. I need you to look at this. And she's got a printout of an email, and it just says. And he looks at it.
Well, we don't see what it says at first.
No,
we just see like the shock and looks on her face.
Yeah, and he just like looks at it, he reads it, and he's like, oh, I'm so sorry, ma'am. We'll have to do the rest of this tomorrow, and you can get your check then. There's just a problem with the bank. It's delayed.
Yeah.
And she's like all pissy, and she's like, why can't I have my money now? And he's like, I'm so sorry. I really hope this doesn't prevent you from doing future business with our firm. We just have to make sure the bank is all set and give you the money.
Yeah, she wanted to roll down to like Rodeo Drive and go to like Saks Fifth Avenue and buy herself like a new like alligator purse.
Exactly, and so she
had an
comes out
eyeball.
of there. She's like all like pissy.
The store's gonna hold the purse for her. Like they only had like a 24-hour hold policy.
Yes. And
it's already like hour 20.
yeah, and she's like, God damn it, I need to get down there. They're gonna give away my alligator purse, bitch.
Yeah, like Heather Locklear also had her sights on it, and
yeah.
she's like, I'm gonna get there before Heather Locklear, fuck that cunt, kind of thing.
So she storms out, and she's all pissy, and she's like, fine, I'll see you tomorrow, and I better be getting my money then. And so after she leaves, he turns to his assistant, and he's like, what the fuck is this? And he reads off the email, and he says, the woman in your office is not my niece? What does this even mean? And she was like, well, I don't know. And he's like, well, where did you get this? Who did you talk to about this? And she was like, no, it came through email. I didn't actually talk to anybody. He was like, you didn't actually talk to anybody on the phone, because that's so much easier to tell if you're actually talking to the real person.
Yeah, the real, someone who's been dead for 3 months.
Yeah, seriously. So he's like, all pissed off. He's like, you figure this shit out. I can't lose a client this big. And I'm like, all right, whatever, dude.
I feel like she kind of like woman-splains email to him though, too, in a way, kind of.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because I feel like we're like email is like kind of newerish at this point in time.
Yeah.
And
well, you can tell by the way the emails are coming in when she's getting them on the computer
yeah.
later and stuff.
But
it looks much older.
I imagine if the show had an older audience, like 50-year-olds at the time, they don't know what email is. Like, just their wacky kids are into it.
Yeah.
So they had to do like a brief explanation. It's mail that comes to you electronically.
Yep. And so, like, after hours, he leaves for the day, and she's like, I am going to figure this shit out because I am not crazy, and this means something. This is important.
Yeah,
so
we get fun lady detective work.
Yep. She does some fun lady detective work. She, like, looks up the email address in her little, like, phone book thing, and it doesn't come up with anything. So she's like, all right, I got to call the operator and find out, or, like, call, like, computer servicing or some shit and find out what's going on. So she's like, calls up and...
Oh, hold on now. You left out a very intricate detail, a very important detail. The email address it came from, which was bigbiz at like dcp.com.
Yes, that was right, Big Biz.
And her...
like, all right, I gotta find out who this Big Biz guy is.
And then they showed us the screenshot of like the original email that she got, and her email address is fine99.
Yeah, fine99
at dcp.com. So the same like domain.
Yeah, it's so great.
So
she calls up like computer support or whatever, and they're like, oh, that email address is that account's been closed for like 3 months. It was closed out to like lack of payment. Ooh, that was a pretty butterfly. Squirrel. So she's like, okay, that can't be. I just got an email from it yesterday or today. Can you find out who owned the account? And they're like, oh, it was Edward Burroughs. And she's like, that's impossible. He's been dead for 3 months. And they're like, well, that's where it was coming from. And she was like, what the fuck? So she gets another email from it.
Like as she's on the phone with like computer support.
Yeah, and it's just like, you need to find my niece. And she's like, what the fuck? How? And he says, oh, her new last name is...
Guarini or something.
Yeah, something different.
It's like Christine
Gourlay.
Oh, yeah, Gourlay.
Victoria Gourlay. And he's like,
she lives in Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, New York. And she's like, all right, well, I'm not going to do this until I know who this is coming from. So, like, who's requesting this? Who are you? And it just says Edward. And she's like, what? No, that's not right. Even though the guy on the other end of the phone already told her the account was from Edward. So she's like, who are you? And it just comes back, find her. And she gets like 5 more emails.
In a row.
In a row without her responding. It just says find her in bigger block letters, all caps, like Billy Mays, like, hey everybody, do you need this type of speak?
It starts off like Arial 12, then it goes to like Arial 14, then it's like Arial 16, then it's just like Arial...
jumps to like Arial 60.
Yeah, then it's like bold, and it's like super taken off the screen. Like super takes up the whole screen. Takes up all the real estate.
Yeah.
And then like, so then now she has the name and she knows where she lives. So she goes into this like fun program that they have. All you have to do is just write somebody's name in the state, and you find out all their info.
Yeah, she like goes into the search thing. So it brings up, you know, the niece's like actual address and phone number. So she calls the niece and whatever, you see her on the phone. And then the next day, it just cuts to next day, and the woman's back in the office, and the guy is like, the lawyer is like handing over the check, and his assistant comes in, and she's like, so sorry to interrupt again, and he's like, I've talked to you about this, and he's being like super like, I'm the man, I'm in control, blah, 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 and like being super degrading to her. And she's like, you need to hear this. And he's like, I'm with a very important client. And she's like, no, you need to hear this. And he was like, well, then you're fired. And she's like, fine, but before I leave, why don't you come in? And this woman comes in.
She's like, I'm Christine Gourlini or whatever.
Victoria Gourlay.
Victoria Gourlay.
And he's like, who the fuck is this? And she's like, this is Edward's real niece, Victoria Gourlay. And he's like, well, then who the hell is that? And the woman's like, that would be my uncle's nurse who's been after his cash and everything. And she's like, all like, oh God, I didn't get away with it.
I wish they broke out to like a cat fight right there.
I know, right?
That'd been great. And then like they just had like a pool next to the office that they fell into.
Yep.
And like splashed around and like pulled each other's hair and stuff. But...
Yes. And then so then it like cuts out to, you know, James Brolin. He's like,
not email, spooky email.
Yeah.
Spooky web.
Yeah, spooky web. And we don't know much about this new technology, as he's sitting next to like a computer from like the 1980.
He's sitting next to a giant computer in like a dark warehouse with like weird spotlights on him.
Yep.
And he's talking about like the spooky cyberspace. We don't know what's out there.
Yep.
We need to be careful. There could be Wi-Fi ghosts. There could be... I don't know.
Wi-Fi doesn't even exist yet.
maybe Wi-Fi is ghosts and it's just delivering the
it's
internet
just
to us.
ghosts delivering shit to us.
Yeah,
That's
just,
interesting.
it's all the dead people of the world bringing information to us.
It sounds like a Doctor Who episode.
It does, and it sounds like real life.
It does.
Could be real life. All right. So that was a fun ass episode of Beyond Belief Factor Fiction. I loved it.
Yep.
I loved the acting.
In the workplace.
That woman, the woman who played the very helpful secretary assistant, who did all the fun lady detective work, who does that thing they do on TV, like when they're typing, they say what they're saying aloud.
Oh yeah, it was fantastic. She was like narrating what she was typing.
Yeah,
it was great.
It's great. I love it. That's one of my favorite things that ever happens when people are using computers and television. Who sits in front of a computer and says aloud what they're...
I've totally done it, but not very often. It's usually when I'm pissed off and I'm like writing like a sassy comment.
You're like, you motherfucker.
Yes. You have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point.
Yeah.
Bold, red.
Yeah.
Angry face emoji.
Cunt.
Yeah. And there's like lights above you that light up the room.
And
When
just
you
like fireworks behind me.
Yeah.
The cats are like, oh god, what's happening?
Yeah, end of the world.
You hear that horrible Monty Python cat noise.
Alright, I think we should get into the bread and butter of today's episode. This
Yes.
is important to us.
So, today's episode has to do with the world's only reliable newspaper. Says it right there.
Alright,
Says
show it
it
to
right
the camera,
there.
yo.
The Weekly World News. This issue is from
2007.
2007, June 11th, 2007. So it's a back issue, hence the coloration. But this has actually come out of print. It is now only on the website, which is weeklyworldnews.com, I believe. They decided that coming out with a print edition weekly just wasn't business savvy for them. It didn't fit into their business model for the new millennium or whatever.
And legit, no one bought them except for your family.
I think there were a couple other people that did, because I remember the stack being empty a couple of times.
I literally never bought one in my life. I would just, if I was at the newspaper store, if I was at the grocery store with my mom buying groceries for the week, and we're in a long ass line, I would just sit there
and read it.
And just read Weekly World News. And I legit, like when I was like 6, 7, 8 years old, I thought all this stuff was true. So I would see like a headline like, God has had enough! Exclamation point. Angels join war on terror. I would see something like that. I'm like, oh my God, the angels are coming down to Earth.
They're gonna like fight Saddam Hussein and shit, because I'm pretty sure that's about the time frame.
Yeah, well, I think Saddam was like long dead at this point. I think we're still trying to find out.
2007? Really?
Yeah, Osama bin Laden was like 2000. Saddam Hussein was like 2004-ish when we finally caught, like 5 or 6 or something.
I thought I was out of high school by the time we caught him. I swear.
I mean, I guess I kind of suck with like remembering years, especially in the 2007s.
We should not be in charge of anything chronological.
Somewhere between 2000 and 2010, Saddam Hussein was murdered.
Exactly.
Murder was afoot.
So this has some like juicy insider scoops. This one actually fits in with the email thing that you were talking about.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that.
Tourette's virus, computer swears at owner, and there's a guy looking all concerned. His computer's calling him a cunt.
Yes. So does it talk to him, or is it just like flashing words on a screen?
Well, let's take a look. Let's find this up. Long Lost Island surfaces.
Right.
Okay, let's move along. Here we go. All right. Cursing computer complicates writer's life. Oh, I just love the alliteration. It is like my bread and butter.
Yes, Airbnb. Airbnb. Proud sponsor of this podcast.
This is breaking news from WWN.
Yep.
This takes place in Falmouth, Vermont.
Ooh.
Is that actually a place?
I feel like they just like make up places.
I think sometimes they do.
Unless it's like a major city, unless it's like New York or Phoenix or something.
Right, which they do use the big cities often, but a lot of times they use like minor ones.
If anyone is from Falmouth, Vermont, tweet us at Red Wine Mystery.
Fun fact: the town, the location in the story right next to this is Phoenix, Arizona.
That's why I said it, because it was the first thing I literally saw when I glanced over at the page. So I don't have soothsaying abilities, believe it or not. Fact or fiction?
Okay, so here's the story. It's a very short one. A freelance reporter recently experienced more than writer's block. And this is in quotes. It says, I woke up to an angry call from my editor. A harried Theodore O'Brien told Weekly World News. he was yelling for me to turn my computer off. He said he just received 2,580 copies of the same email, all full of, and it just has, you know, like expletive deleted and expletive deleted. So we don't even know what they said.
I can only imagine though.
Yeah. Suddenly, every single thing I typed and emailed was filled with cussing, O'Brien said. Suspecting his computer of having Tourette's syndrome, O'Brien called an IT specialist. And analysis revealed it wasn't the computer at all, O'Brien said, relieved. It was the cursor, which is like, in quotes.
Is that an urban legend?
And that's the end of the story, and that's written by Dick Siegel.
Do you think it's Edward from the Beyond Belief episode? Like he is just like going after other people in his life?
He's just like trying to find the right place to send an email, and he's just like cursing because he keeps hitting the wrong spot.
Or do you think he's just going after his enemies?
Ooh.
Like maybe he died and was possessed by a
Maybe this
a
like
desktop.
freelance writer like did him wrong somehow. Maybe like that's why his empire wasn't like 500 million. It was only 500,000.
Yeah, maybe it's like he was like maybe Edward Burroughs was like a famous writer, but he hired like ghostwriters to like do a lot of his work.
Maybe this was one of them, and he sucked at it.
Yeah, you know those like authors who like pump out like a lot of books in like a short period of time.
Yeah.
How the hell does like someone sit down and like write all these books?
I don't know.
So well, because they hire ghostwriters to like write a lot of their books.
That's true. Yeah.
So maybe this was this kind of scenario, and this guy did him dirty. He wrote like a shitty book. It didn't sell too well. Didn't do hot on the bestsellers list. New York Times wasn't proudly announcing that whatever. I picture him being like a mystery novelist.
Mystery
Maybe it's like a mystery series of like some dude, like one guy.
Red Wine and Mystery Series.
Yeah. It was Red Wine Mystery Series, the book series.
Ooh.
Edward
no
Burroughs.
one wants to read that.
Edward Burroughs is our. Maybe we're reincarnated from him.
Ooh, we each have a little bit of him.
Yeah. He split himself up. His like ghost jizz went into our souls.
That sounds so disturbing.
Yeah.
And yet so beautiful.
Yes. So we
and
are.
This is why we're friends.
Yes.
Because we have to be friends because we have to be near each other in some way to, you know, be a whole.
We're each other's sounding boards. So maybe this is why like we were both so connected to the story.
Ooh.
And this little story right here. So
yeah.
So
yeah.
Edward Burroughs he's reaching out to us. We
Weekly
hear
World
you.
News.
Yeah.
You've done it again. And can I just point out this magazine, this newspaper, pops up in so many different movies as like, you know, in the background. So I Married an Axe Murderer.
Yeah.
His parents collected a magazine. This was it.
Yeah.
Any of the Men in Black movies, the guy in the entryway to the building, reading Weekly World News. Guess where in the first one they find the story that says my husband was eaten by an alien or something like that.
Hold on. Weekly World News.
Boom!
Oh, I was right.
Yep.
I am a soothsayer.
You are a soothsayer.
Yes.
And like, you just watch the backgrounds of various movies. It pops up everywhere. And
You
has,
Got
like,
Mail,
like,
the Tom Hanks, Meg Ryan romantic comedy, and it makes an appearance in that.
Does it?
I don't know. I'm just saying that.
It might actually. I don't know. But like,
We might have
it
company.
has like, it has like variations of the title. Sometimes it's World Weekly News. Sometimes it's the same magazine. You can tell it's supposed to be Weekly World News. They're just changing it around slightly because they didn't pay for the rights or something.
Yeah.
So this thing is just like full of gold, and I gotta say, this one on the other page by Dick Siegel, I think we kind of have to read it because it has to do with one of our favorite characters.
I think we should.
All right, so elusive police arrest Bat Boy! An exclamation point. Elusive creature sighted in upstate New York, Rochester, New York. That is an actual place.
Yeah, we know that place. We've never been there, but we know it.
Mea culpa, a red-faced detective Richard Sprang told Weekly World News. Oh, I can't read the rest of this. I'm pretty sure that's in Spanish or...
Let me see it. I'll do it for you. Where am I looking at?
At the very beginning of the story, the quotes.
Quia, Pacave, Nimis, Cocotoni, Verbo, et opre, he added.
I'm pretty sure that's not how you pronounce those words, but that's okay.
It's close enough.
When shortstop Slats Gordon of the minor league Rochester Robins informed police that a bat boy was supplying illegal steroids. Oh my God, bat boy, how far you fallen?
Should we do
Should
should we do a quick like recap of what Bat Boy is or who a Bat Boy is?
Sure, I'll let you do that part.
All right. So Bat Boy, there is a famous issue called on the front cover. You see Bat Boy. And
He actually makes the cover quite frequently. There's Bat Boy with his shirt off for some reason.
There's a picture of his like face. It's close up.
They originally like found him in a cave or something like
yeah,
that.
Yeah, I think like wasn't the headline like Bat Boy found and
yeah.
very extreme close up of his face. And I guess that issue sold very well, so they just kept bringing him back. And they would find him in like various places, or he would get involved in these like ridiculous
He would get involved in
situations,
hijinks and things
sticky
like that.
situations.
Oh, fun fact. So I bought the very last print issue.
Yeah. Is Bat Boy on there?
I believe he's on the cover.
Bat Boy named Mayor.
But he's like an adult, but they still call him Bat Boy.
Yeah, they always call him Bat Boy, even like because he's like they literally find him
I'm pretty
like.
sure he's like in his 50s now.
Well, they found him in like 1990 something, I think.
Yeah.
Early 90s.
Yeah.
And then it was like 12, 15 years later, and he still looks the same.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, he does get to be an adult in some of their stories as the time goes on. So.
Oh, do they jump around?
They do a little bit.
Get out your seat and jump around.
Jump around, jump up, and get down. So he was supplying illegal steroids to the team. Local police reached a natural, if misinformed conclusion. We assumed it was the Bat Boy, Detective Strang said, after luring Bat Boy from a nearby cave using the latest issue of Weekly World News as bait. Yes, I love it. We thought the case was closed. However, during a police lineup, Slats Gordon made a startling claim.
Is that a Dick Tracy villain?
I really want it to be. It sounds like it should be. But apparently he's just a, minor league player, whatever.
Upstate New York.
Yeah. The cops had busted the wrong Bat Boy.
Oh, so there's more than one.
With a chuckle. It was the team's Bat Boy. Oh, Bat Boy in lowercase. Bim Drake, who done it.
What was his name?
Bim Drake.
How do you spell that?
Bimdrake.
Bim. That's.
Bim.
You don't.
Invader Bim. No, that was Zim.
If you read it backwards, it's MIB.
Ooh, hot scoop. A sheepish detective Sprang quickly arrested the team. The 16-year-old Drake confessed he had solicited the drugs while shagging flies.
What?
I'm guessing that's a baseball term.
Should I shag you now or shag you later? That's all. That's where my mind is.
Oh my God. Bat Boy is happy to be free, Public Defender Roger Marshall stated, adding with a wink, needless to say, he is now safe at home. What, back in his fucking cave?
Alright.
Like, oh yeah, we're just gonna let this child go back and live in this cave some more.
Alright, my little take on that story is someone had those, like, refrigerator magnet words that they just put together. Like, they Mad-Libbed it, basically. Mad-Libs or, like, refrigerator magnet words.
I think a lot of the Weekly World News is magnet words.
Yeah, and they just, so they know Bat Boy, it's going to be sort of a Bat Boy, then they just have to come up with a plot, and they just magnet word it into existence. Right, I think we should do one more.
Oh, let's see.
Find us a good one. Do they have like horoscopes in there, or like anything like happening in like in the future?
I'm trying to find, a lot of times they have the trivia section, which, fun fact, sometimes actually has real trivia slipped in there.
Ooh.
Which makes it just so much better. That's a long one. I don't think we can do that. Oh, is that a long one or is that? Oh, we've got High Dolly.
Is that like a column? Like a advice column?
Yeah, she gives advice and shit. It's actually fairly funny. Do you want me to read
Yeah,
that?
let's do a High Dolly. So High Dolly is kind of like Dear Abby, but
Yep.
crazy. It's like if
Yeah.
Dear Abby was a conspiracy theorist
Yes. The
and
country's
paranoid and wore
boldest-
like tinfoil hats.
So it says, the country's boldest advice columnist answers your questions, but you asked for it.
Yeah. Hot
so
scoop.
we've got confused by crush, worried about drinking teen, troublesome elder sister. Which one do you want me to read?
I want the drinking teens.
Okay, worried
Shout
about
out.
drinking
I'm picturing like American Pie shenanigans going
Oh
on
yeah.
right now.
Yep, totally.
I'm picturing like Jason Biggs and Sean William Scott and like I don't know, sticking their dick in things.
Oh yeah, that's the real Big Bang right there.
Yeah, the real
Yeah.
Big Bang.
So, worried about drinking teen. Hi, Dolly. My son is 17 years old and a junior in high school. I just learned from one of the moms in his class that the crowd he's running around with does a lot of drinking.
Ooh.
My son has never seemed drunk when he comes home after spending.
Oh, he's good. He's good at hiding it.
I know, or an overnight in parentheses
Ah.
with his friends. But I'm worried. What should I do about this? Antonia in Madison.
Ooh, Madison, Wisconsin?
I'm guessing. It doesn't say. It just says in Madison.
Madison Square Garden?
Yeah, she's just living in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's where I confused. What was her? What was it again?
Worried about teen drinking or drinking teen?
Well, how did she say? Oh, she just signed her name, right? It's
Yeah.
not like worried in Wisconsin or something.
No,
like
it's
that.
not. It's just
Aw.
Antonia in Madison.
I don't like that. I think they should have alliterated it.
Yeah.
Or is that like ripping too much of Dear Abby?
Well, they do it on the Confused with Crush, so I'll do that one next.
Okay.
All right, so her answer. Dear Antonia, like Confused up above, oh, this is like a sequel. I have one word for you to remember. Communication. I don't blame you for being worried, hon. Talk to your son. His response will tell you whether he feels wronged or busted or mighty surprised, which is S''P-R-I-S-E-D, which I love.
Is she like a Southern Belle?
I think she is.
Okay.
Before asking him, talking, not confronting, in parentheses, visit the parents of some of your son's friends to see if they've noticed a situation that was getting out of hand. And if so, between you might be able to put on the brakes. But you can't keep kids that are near grown under lock and key. All you can do is tell them what you believe in, and hope they listen and understand.
You know, that was too. I didn't like that.
Yeah, that was actual like advice.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do Confused by Crush, because this one she actually does it's son Confused by Crush.
Okay.
Hi Dolly, I am 15 years old, and there's a wind coming up. And
There's a gust of wind coming through my pen and paper as I try to write this letter to you, Dolly.
In 2007.
Yeah. Is it Dolly Parton?
It doesn't look like Dolly Parton.
Maybe.
She looks much older than Dolly
Maybe
Parton.
she has a mask.
Maybe.
Maybe.
There is a Right to Dolly excerpt here down at the bottom where it gives you the address to send things.
Oh, we should
I
send
really
something to
wish
this.
these were real. I don't know if they are, but I really want them to be. So anyway, Confused by Crush. Hi Dolly, I'm 15 years old and there is this boy I really like, but I don't know if he likes me back. We were good friends for a while until he moved away. Now he is moving back with his grandma who lives across the street. Should I tell him I like him and see if he likes me back, even though our friendship could go weird if he doesn't? Confused with a crush.
All right. What's her hot scoops response?
All right.
How is she scooping C by C?
So, dear Confused, Pumpkin.
Pumpkin.
Wait and see what happens. Sounds like you and this fella haven't seen each other in a spell, and you may find you don't have to do no nudging for him to notice what a fine gal you are.
Ooh, I like her sassy response.
She does have some sassy responses. Or you may not fancy him as boyfriend material as much as you used to. Folks changed a lot at your age, and even older, in parentheses. And there's no telling what will happen. Since you'll be living across the street from each other, you don't want drama if things don't settle out just like you have in mind. Whatever you do, remember this one word: patience.
Ooh, all right. So some sage advice from Dolly, from Hi Dolly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get some good shit in here. So we may need to revisit these at some point
Yeah.
because there's just like a plethora of information in here. And I gotta say, Men in Black, I'm sure we're like really looking at this shit.
Looking for
back in
maybe
the
real
day.
things. Maybe there's clues in here.
Yep.
If you like read the first letter of the first word in every sentence, there's like coordinations and clues and stuff. So
Yeah. Well, there's San Diego, California, after being stripped of his research grant for gambling in the laboratory, sorry. Hematologist Jack Holsome, really?
well, they have to change the names to protect the innocent.
It's true. Organized a new type of blood sport called germ fighting.
Ooh, I like that.
Dozens of other scientists now gather in his basement to watch white cells fight each other in a petri dish.
I love it. Fight Club. It's like microscopic Fight Club.
It really, really is.
Alright.
This is People Are Strange. That's this segment.
Yes.
Weekly World News has scoured the world to uncover the most outrageous things that people are doing, have attempted to do, or actually did. Oh, I want to read this one.
Alright, do one more.
Augusta, Maine. 50-year-old logger Jack Lumbar was desolated to discover that years of working with trees have caused the skin of his fingers to turn to bark. Against his better judgment, he decided not to see a doctor and simply lives with his mutated sticky fingers.
Oh my god, so there's like sap coming out of his hands?
No, I think it's supposed to be like sticks.
Oh.
Like sticky fingers.
Oh my god. I love the pun. Shout out to
the reason I wanted to read that one is because there was a frickin' picture.
we'll have to show it to them.
You show it to them.
Yeah, you might not be able to see it, but we'll get it on there for you. You get the gist. All right.
Yep.
So I think that was a nice, fun live episode, I guess is what we'll call it.
Video episode.
Video episode. We'll have an audio version available as well, so you can just listen to it on iTunes and
Tumblr. And
redwidemysteries.tumblr.com. And what is our hot email address? How can you reach us if you want to write to us?
Write to us. Give us some critiques. Tell me
us
how
questions.
horrible my hair is and the fact that I don't wear makeup.
Yeah, ask us Q's. We'll give you some
send
A's.
Us mysteries.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll give you some A's.
Is your stepmother an alien?
Yep, we would love to hear.
Do vampires live next door to you?
Is your mother a mermaid?
Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. So our email address is redwinemysteries@gmail.com.
Yes.
You can also find us on Twitter.
Yes, at Red Wine Mystery.
And we have a Facebook group. Just search for Red Wine Mystery Stories.
Yes. And I think I want to tease the next episode. I want to point skyward, though.
Ooh.
So we're going to adjust the
Skyward,
cam.
yes.
So if anyone has...
Actually, Patrick, I'm not seeing any. Oh, live action shots. There's one being created right now. Chemtrail in the making, people.
Yeah, so if you look...
Chemtrail in the making.
Yeah, so join us next week when we talk about the spooky phenomenon that is changing us greatly.
Yes, it's a scary thing, and you know what? We may not even remember this because that chemtrail is probably going to wipe our memories.
Yeah, so if you can see the chemtrail behind me, it's pouring poison down on us literally right now. So join us next week to talk about chemtrails. Deuces.
Deuces.